Good morning, 4 a.m. fam. I'm coming to you live from a different headboard. Still in my pajamas, still in a filter. I'm traveling, but I had to give you this insight that came to me last night. I woke up at 3:33 a.m. Can't make this up. And a lot of times as a psychic medium, when I'm falling asleep and waking up, I have like a fully formed message in my mind. It's like I'm waking up right out of a conversation I've been having with spirit. It's not like I am. That is what I'm doing. I'm waking up and I remember the conversations I was having in the spirit realm. Now, this message might be a little unusual, might be a little triggering. And remember, we're doing radical accountability from here on out. I'm just a rando on the internet. You decide how to interpret and what to do with this message. But I woke up hearing, "Let it all fall apart. The destruction is necessary." Now, I've gotten messages similar to that before. I've shared them before. But what was so oddly specific in my mind is that the destruction that the administration is currently doing to dismantle pretty much everything. I've been alarmed about that too. I've been very disturbed by a lot of things that are happening too. So the message in my mind was specifically with regards to that. Now, I didn't like that message. I was a little concerned about that message. And I was like, are you kidding? Please confirm. Please give me more information because that's a lot. But what Spirit showed me is that the structure of the government is so tenuous, and they're using the word shadowy. There is so much that we don't know and understand. They're saying so many loopholes that are currently exploited. And really the only recourse that the good guys have is through the courts, and the courts are not infallible. So, especially depending on what judge you get, like it's just such a complicated and flawed system. So, as I was asking, like, wait, for real? Because I don't like that. That makes me very uncomfortable. And what they were showing me is the system is so overladen, it's so complicated, and it's complicated on purpose so that people can exploit loopholes, and the complications of it can work to their advantage because they mire everything in so much red tape that you can't actually get anything clean through. They're using the words clean. You can't get a clean bill through. Everything is loaded with all these other things. You can't push things through committee. You can't, like, it's just so ridiculously overblown that it's too complicated to be functional for the light. These words are very purposeful. They're like thundering them all in my head. The light, overcomplicated, like they're very specific with this message right now. Now, you guys might remember, those of you who've been with me since the beginning of all this, you guys might remember that in November or early December, I did a video where I said we shot the moon. And what they were showing me is that, remember, we were talking about the presidential races being the cosmic vote, meaning he's the archetype of the old ways, she's the archetype of the new ways, and the whole world is paying attention. What are we going to do going forward? What energy do we want to move forward for our communities? Everyone's paying attention. Everyone's having an opinion about it. And essentially what Spirit was showing me is that so many people in their hearts are ready for the new and want the new. We don't want to go back to the old ways. That the energies were then able to come in to shift us into rapid transformation, which is why things are falling apart at a rapid rate. Now, if the majority of folks were not totally ready for the new or wanting or desiring the new, even if it's chaotic and painful to get there, then likely what we would have gotten, oh, and the sun's coming out. We'll consider that a sign. Likely what we would have gotten was just a Harris presidency that moves the dial more, but we would still be dealing with the bureaucracy and the opposition every step of the way. So you wouldn't really be getting the new. You'd be getting a taste of the new, and it would be fought by the old as the old continues to work behind the scenes to try to gain power in the next 4 years or try to slow down the progress of the leader during these 4 years. Now, as I've said, me and my optimism, my plucky optimism, thought we could get her done, get all this contrast and nonsense done between Election Day and Inauguration Day. Alas, no. But that's again because I wasn't understanding the scope of what's to be destructed. And that's what they showed me last night. The destruction of what currently exists is to wipe the slate clean so that those who will step in to pick up the pieces do not have to do so within the old game, the old rules, the old restrictions and complications. They're saying obfuscations. The obfuscations is when someone intentionally hides things behind something complicated. They're not going to be able to keep doing that, which is what's been happening in the system for hundreds of years. So as everyone out there is freaking out over what's happening. Completely understandable. The message thundering through loud and clear last night, and again today as I'm making this message. The destruction is important. The destruction is part of the higher plan. We're dismantling the old so that when the new is rebuilt, it's going to be on a clean slate, because even though the Constitution is a great document when upheld to the highest purposes, it is very fraught and complicated. And let's never forget that this whole freedom of the people was just white men. It did not include everybody else. So as a founding document, that doesn't serve our nation as it is now, full of beautifully diverse people with different needs and different desires. We need a clean slate. So this is reminding me that I had recorded a draft of a video that I didn't post yet, and that's likely what I'm going to be doing while I'm traveling for the next week plus. I'm going to be going into my drafts to be sharing some videos I never put online yet. I did one that's about the energy, I don't know if this word's going to get flagged, the energy of the anti and Christ, that talked about what that is on a symbolic and energetic level, how it's not a person, it's an energy, and why it's useful now. So I'll be putting out that video maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. So there you go, fam. Your 3:33 a.m. musings. Tell me what you think. Have you gotten some of the same? What are you feeling as you look around? I know it's really scary when we look at it from a human perspective of like, what are they doing? This is terrifying. But understanding the whole overall ascension process and how we're clearing the slate for the new, this makes total sense to me. And the fact that they have been so insistent on thundering through as I'm talking now shows the importance of getting this message. So there you go. Love you, fam.